Be back in here with another one. Let's get it. What's on the menu today, guys? Let's see. Let's freaking see. Let's freaking see, buddy.
They fell asleep on a plane full of people, but when they woke up, there was no one there. These two girls were on a normal flight, on an ordinary day. They dozed off without realizing it. But when they opened their eyes, something had changed. The aircraft was completely empty. No passengers, no flight attendants, no pilots. In shock, they started to panic. They stood up and decided to leave the plane. But when they reached the airport, it was even worse. There was absolutely no one. No employees, no travelers, not even a single sound. The entire terminal was silent. They walked through the halls, past the boarding gates, past security, but everything was empty. Even outside on the runway, not a single person. Imagine the panic, being completely alone in a place that's usually full of life. When they entered the airport stores, the shelves were empty too. No products, no sellers, nothing, as if everyone had suddenly vanished. Then one of the girls decided to check something further away. She walked off for just a few seconds, and then her friend heard a scream, a single, heartbreaking scream echoing through the empty airport. Don't forget to follow me. I've got more stories that'll make you think twice before sleeping tonight. They fell.
I don't know what you think of that, man. That's crazy. I would have been looking for a pilot. I'm gonna be honest. I would have been looking for the pilot. Where you at, Mr. Sir? Somebody flew this freaking plane here, you know? That's what I would have been looking for, the pilot. I don't know what y'all think of. What y'all think about that one, man? That one crazy. Like, this ain't the first video I've seen of like a deserted little area or city or town or something. What is it? Is it like something you could go to? Is it cap? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Let's get it.
Wake up. Okay, what actually happened to this guy? Because his story has me convinced that aliens might be real. Because tell me how this man just vanishes into thin air and then reappears 15 months later, 700 miles away with no recollection of what's going on. This is Stephen Kubacki. He was 23 years old at the time, an avid outdoorsman, and he was taking a solo skiing trip near Lake Michigan. When he never returned home from his trip, they sent out a search party. They found his backpack and his skis, and then they saw footprints leading towards the lake, but then the footprints just disappeared as if he vanished into thin air. It was at this time investigators just believed that he simply fell into the lake and drowned. So his family was mourning his death. They hadn't seen him in 15 months. And then he just wakes up in a field 700 miles away in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He's wearing clothes he doesn't recognize. He has a bag that he doesn't recognize filled with like maps and things. There was a huge media frenzy after this, but he kind of shut down and didn't want to talk about what had happened, which I find very odd. People claim that this may be from head trauma. Some people say that he was just going through like some psychosis or that he was trying to get away. But how do you go 15 months with nobody recognizing you, especially when you're a missing person? Stephen is not the only person this has happened to, though. Back in 1991, this guy, Vasile Gorgos, was a Romanian farmer that bought a train ticket to go do some like livestock business. He left his house and never returned. His family contacted authorities. There was a huge missing person case for him. They searched endlessly. Eventually the case went cold, and it wasn't until 30 years later that he returned back at his house with no recollection of what happened over the last 30 years. The strangest part though was he was still wearing the exact same outfit and still had the exact same train ticket. His family said that that wasn't the oddest part though. Despite him buying this train ticket 30 years ago and it being in his backpack all this time, it was in mint condition. Like, it looked brand new, but it was a train ticket dated back for 1991. These are just two of the cases that I've read of this, but there are multiple people that go missing for years and years and years with no recollection of what happened. Have you all ever heard of these cases? What do you think this is? I personally think aliens. I mean, what else could it be? Let me know in the comments, and if you're enjoying these stories, then just follow along. Okay, what actually...
That's crazy work. I'm not gonna lie. If you pay attention to it, it seems like it's the hands of some aliens, to be honest with you. What y'all think? Y'all let me know in that comment section, man. Let's get it. What's the next one?
My daughter woke up screaming at 5 a.m. and said there was a man in her room. At exactly around 5 a.m., my daughter screamed so loud it woke up my son. I jumped out of bed, ran down the hall, and found her sitting up, shaking, pointing at the corner of her room. She said, "Dad, there was a man standing right there." I turned on every light, checked the closet, under her bed, every inch of that room, nothing. So she said he was tall, wearing all black, and that he whispered her name before she screamed. I ran through the house next, front door locked, back door locked, windows sealed. Even the alarm was still armed. If anyone had opened a door or a window, it would have gone off immediately around that time. But my daughter said she heard the floorboards creak before she saw him, like footsteps slowly moving closer to her bed. So I replayed the security footage from the living room, cameras, and her room. No one came in, no motion detected, but right before she screamed, the hallway camera flickered. Just one frame, a shadow passing across her door. The alarm never went off, but every door was locked. So who was standing in my daughter's room at 5 a.m.? True story.
That sound wicked. It's the Babadook. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, bro. Y'all need to get that handled, man, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all need to pray for that house. Light some sage. And you know, ask the blood of Jesus to cover that, But yeah, we to the next one. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. Or if y'all had any experiences like that, y'all let me know in the comment section. Let's go.
Of consciousness.
Well, first of all, it's not a big.
Imagine that the pun.
Finally, I checked They Live by John Carpenter off of my watch list after so long, and I didn't think I would like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was expecting it to be boring, because even though I love Halloween, sometimes I watch a John Carpenter movie and I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I love you, John Carpenter, but I don't think this is interesting. But it actually ended up being really fucking awesome. It's kind of more sci-fi than horror, but I thought the concept was just so fun, and like, I guess not campy, but there's just something so visually pleasing about the concept of They Live. Basically, I'll give you the rundown. There is a transient man in this movie. He doesn't have a place to live. He's working at a construction site, sleeping in shelters at night, and he ends up finding in a box, like in an alley, these sunglasses, but when he puts them on, they completely change the world around him and they make him see it for what it really is. So he puts on these sunglasses and he sees everything in black and white. Every advertisement, he sees it for what it really is. A sign urging people to obey, to consume, to have no independent thought, to stay asleep, so to speak. And this is all some plot from aliens to take over and make us mindless consuming sheep. And he can see humans for what they are. Some of us are real people, some of us are aliens, but you wouldn't know unless you had the alien glasses on. I like to call them the woke Matrix glasses. So it's just so fun, the scenes where he's walking around like in a grocery store yelling at people because he can see that they're aliens, and he's like, "You look so ugly," and then he's like looking at an advertisement of a naked lady that's like, "Come to Hawaii," and then he puts on the glasses and it's like, "Reproduce, have babies now, get married." I just think it was really awesome and funny because it's like symbolism it's not symbolism, it's just the themes are so in your face, like what this movie is trying to say, in a way that, yeah, does make it a little bit campy. It's also kind of actiony, there's guns, he's killing aliens, has funny one-liners like men do in 80s action movies. I just thought the concept was like really fun and really funny. I love the design of the aliens. I just love the comedic nature of the whole thing. I was having so much fun watching this movie. I couldn't believe it. I was like kicking myself for waiting so long to watch it. So if you have also been putting off They Live, it's a classic. You need to watch it because it's such a fun movie. Finally, I checked They Live by...
I'm not gonna lie, she's right about that. That movie is absolutely crazy. It's a tight movie. If you already watched that 80s film, man, y'all need to go check that out, man. That's a good movie, no lie. And they have you on the edge of your seat, laughing, comedy, but also truth. So pay attention to the truth. But Who else noticed that Chucky doll back there, the son of Chucky back there in her video? That's crazy right there. That's crazy work. I couldn't sleep in a house or in a room like that. That's crazy. That's how they do.
Something while my pronouns are she.
What's your...
I was invited to a party, and...
So how did the government trick and finesse us to live how we're living now? What you mean by that? For example, right? I believe in God. I believe God gave us all this land. But how did the government make us pay for land that they don't own? Yeah, what? Yeah, what? So let's say you bought a house and you paid it off. You still have to pay the government taxes just to live in your own home. You right. And get this part. You don't even own your own car, bro. Wait. That's where you're wrong at, because I technically do own my car. I just paid it all off. No, you don't. So you pay every month to use your car. We call that insurance. You pay taxes every year to use your car. We call that tabs. Tabs is how they keep tabs on us. Exactly. So if you don't pay for the tabs every year, then they won't allow you to use your car. Dang, man, I feel like I'm being bamboozled, bro. Oh, no. It gets worse. Let me hear more, man. Now, when we go to work, right? Before we get paid, who get paid? The government. So get this. The government takes money out of our check before we even get our check. Then we gotta pay to keep our belongings and use our belongings every month. Wait, so let me get this right. If I buy a house and pay it off, I gotta pay the government to keep it, or they would take it from me and sell it to someone else. If I buy a car, I have to pay the government to use it. And every time I get a job, the government will pay their sales before they pay me. Oh, it get worse. No, I can't even get no worse than that, bro. Oh no, get this. Now, you're supposed to pay the government to do all the natural things that you're supposed to do. What you mean by that? Like, for example, if you want to hunt, right? Something you naturally supposed to do, you got to go through the government and pay for that. And then on top of that, fruits and vegetables are supposed to be all through the world for free, right? But we allow the government to take all our fruits and vegetables to put them in grocery stores so we can pay for them. This is crazy to think about, bro. You want to get married? Go through the government. Want your kids to be educated? Go through the government. You want... I don't even want to hear no more, bro. This is just blowing my mind. Okay, one more question. All right, go ahead. So how did the government trick and finesse us to live how we're...
That right there, that's crazy. Once you think about it, you take a step back and think about those things. You never really owe nothing. Never. And I can add one. Anybody any one of y'all live in a city where you gotta pay toll to go to another city? Mine. Let's get to the next one.
So these resist...
Let's talk about the word.
Listen to me very carefully. If you manage to break out of the programming while living in America, you a goddamn superhero. I don't care what nobody says. America got one of the strongest programming systems on this planet. They not letting their people go. They don't care about all the other countries. Between the bills, the 40 hours a week, the poisoned ass food, the temptation of scrolling on the internet, the drugs and alcohol on the weekend, the gossiping with the girls, the fake success on top of that religion, if you can disconnect from all of that chaos and actually go within, tap into your higher self, connecting with God inside you, you gotta be protected at all costs. Cause at that point, you damn near the next Harriet Tubman. Baby, free us. But if you're seeing right through all the bullshit around you, just like me, and waking up, follow this page. Cause baby, we ain't stopping. We see through the illusion. You can't fool us now. The veil is lifted. Listen to me very carefully.
I agree completely. You just gotta unplug yourself. You just gotta snatch that thing out of your neck. and just take a real peek at reality, and you will see that somebody is in control. There's an entity that's in control. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Maybe you not be in control. Like the last video. You own a house, but you don't really own it. You gotta pay property tax on that. That's crazy to me, man. That's dope, man.
What you're seeing behind me is a real picture. This is Eben Byers, and let's talk about how he lost his entire lower half of his jaw. He was a pro golfer in the early 1900s. In 1927, he hurt his arm pretty badly, so the doctor suggested Radithor. Radithor is radium in water. This is essentially radioactive water that was prescribed for him. And now obviously around this time, nobody really knew the effects of radiation like that. Eben Byers would take a lot of doses per day. He even got up to 1,400 doses in one day. As you would imagine, this dude got cancer like it was his job. I mean, obviously radioactive water is gonna give you cancer. He lost weight, experienced a lot more headaches, and his teeth started to fall out. The Federal Trade Commission asked to testify about his experience, but he was too weak and tired to even make the journey. So they sent a representative to his home, and they found something terrifying. His upper and lower jaw were almost completely gone, and he had about 1.5 teeth left. He was also forming holes all over his head. His body was literally disintegrating. In 1932, he officially passed away, and they dubbed the cause of death radiation poisoning. They didn't know at the time, but it would be actually due to a bunch of acute cancers that he developed. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and what you want to see next.
That's crazy. Radiation water is freaking crazy, bro. Whew. God, look at him. Rest in peace to Eben Byers, man. That's wild. That's wild. You can't trust the powers that be. You cannot trust the powers that be. They really gave him radiation water. It's crazy to me. Like, God, boy. That's tough. Let's get to the next one, man.
A lot of people got the game up because a lot of people don't understand that becoming conscious or becoming woke is only the first step in the journey. See, a lot of people get a little knowledge and then it blow their head up. It inflates their ego and they feel like the world owes them something. But the reality is, until you take that knowledge and apply it to manifest tangible things in your life, then it really doesn't mean anything, and it's really just a fantasy or a delusion. See, a lot of people are woke, but they still laying in the bed not doing shit. You have to actually get up, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your ass, and go out here and get to work. Because knowing about something and actually living and experiencing it is two totally different things. The whole point of knowing this information is to use it to create your reality. What's the point of having all of this conscious knowledge and information, but your life is still the same? Your mindset is still the same. It's like, okay, you read a few books, you watched a couple YouTube videos and TikTok videos, but you haven't actually transformed yourself on an internal level. That's what separates the men from the boys. You gotta actually be able to stand on this shit. A lot of people got the game up.
I feel you about that. Y'all get off your ass and go out there and tell that truth. You know what I mean? Y'all wake up, get out of bed, brush your teeth, wash your face, wash your ass. Get out there and go tell some truth. Shit. Tired of y'all sitting on this truth and they ain't doing nothing with it. Let's go get it.
A man can text you all day long and not be interested in you at
This is literally right now in Tennessee.
What the hell happened to my internet?
Me versus. Whoa, wait, don't give away too much, man. Yeah, okay. I can say clone, I want to say clone. All right, so there's like a clone bang link. Right. When it comes out, let's get a selfie real quick. Let's hop in for a selfie. Me versus. Whoa, wait, don't give away too much, man. Yeah,
I think that's like video editing. I don't think that's nothing too crazy. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think in the conversation.
I've got a message to the conscious community. For those that are awake and for those that are trying to be awake. There's a thin line between being awake and mental health. I'm trying to tell you, there's a thin line. So, are you hearing voices? Or are you listening to your ancestors? Are you seeing things? Or are you tapping into a different dimension? Are you feeling things? Or are you an empath? Because I'm telling you, there is a thin line. And if you ain't got the right support network around you, and if you ain't got the right knowledge, it can be dangerous. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I recently uploaded a video advertising a face swap app. And a lot of people seem to be upset. You know, there was like, you know, you're promoting AI. They've got our faces now. They're gonna get our faces. They're gonna do stuff with our faces. I've got some bad news. They've already got your face. The moment you used a mobile phone, a Samsung, an iPhone, TikTok, Facebook, Live, Instagram, the minute you was on any type of, they've already got your face. They already know who you are from the day you was born, bruv. They've had this all rigged up from the get-go. So, you got to be careful that you don't fall into being paranoid whilst trying to be safe. Because I tell you this, if you follow this trying to be safe rule, ain't nothing safe. They've got chemtrails, they've got fluoride, they tap the phones, they've got Alexa, they've got face recognition, they've got you already. No weapon formed against shall prosper. We hold the key. They get our strength from us. We got our strength from nature, from the universe, from the creator. They could never stop us. I'm on the front line, reporting for duty. And I ain't scared. Yeah, they got my face. And they better recognize when they see me. Fire off your bone. I've got a message to the...
I like that. I like that video, man. That's a good video, man. I like his confidence, man, because that's how I feel, man. But you gotta think about it, man. They been having your face. Why do you think they got cameras all on your phone, bro? You think you need 3 cameras with all 1 camera on the back of that phone to do that 3 things? They claim, I don't even think you use all 3 cameras on the phone. I don't know. Weird shit, bro. And then you got 2 in the front. I think Samsung got like 2 cameras in the front and 4 in the back. That shit wild to me, bro. But yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Like bro said, they got all these stuff against us, but you know what we got? We got the Most High. You can't lose with the Most High. You can't lose. But you got the almighty power, the creator. You can't lose, bro. Ain't no loser. So, y'all tell me what y'all think in that conversation. Let's get it, man.
How the fuck you think the monkey got created? Cause Zeus, Satan was trying to create a human being. But he fucked up the first time and he created a monkey. And he kept trying to create a chimpanzee. Then he kept trying and he got to the gorilla. Then he kept trying and he got to the Neanderthal. Then he kept trying and eventually he got to the human being. This is a fact. This is why it's Neanderthal inside of human beings as well, because human beings were still like a Neanderthal in a way, especially when y'all first got here. Matter of fact, we the motherfuckers that created the human being, what it is today. Y'all were Neanderthals when y'all came here. Because that's the stage that Zeus got y'all to. He started y'all off as monkeys. And then from the monkey, he got to the chimpanzee. From the chimpanzee, he got to the baboon, up to the gorilla. That still wasn't what he wanted. He was trying to get something that looked just like us, looked just like him. This is why human beings will always be Zeus' greatest creation. That's what they really meant in the Bible when they said, man is God's greatest creation. Right. Humans are God, which is the God of the Bible, is Satan. Jesus, aka Jesus. Jesus again. Let him who has eyes see clearly. How the fuck you think the monkey got created?
Yeah, man, I'm entitled to my own opinion, right? I don't agree with none of that, man. I don't think we was made for monkeys, man. I've been over that. You know what I mean? As a kid, waking up to this truth. I ain't falling for none of that. You know what I mean? You ain't fooling me with this monkey shit, this monkey BS. None of that. We ain't no goddamn monkeys. We wasn't coming for no goddamn monkeys. I'm a heavy believer in the Bible, and it's not even halfway true. And Zeus did not create the human. I'm sorry. The Most High created everything around us. That's my beliefs. That's my opinion. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Y'all tell me your opinion in the comment section. Let's get it.
5 scary and disturbing facts you didn't know. At some point in your life, a stranger has thought about killing you. There are thousands of diseases frozen in glaciers, and global warming will eventually release them all. Did you know TikTok knows who your truest friend is? Your truest friend is the first person that appears when you click on share and then more. Clocks never appear in dreams because there is no sense of time. In the 1800s, dentures were made of deceased people's teeth. If you type rage in small letters and brackets, you will unlock a new TikTok emoji. During the witch trials in the 1600s, birthmarks, moles, or other skin imperfections were often considered witches' marks or devil's marks. Therefore, if you are a woman and have one of these, you would have likely been accused of being a witch and burned at the stake. 5 scary and disturbing facts you didn't know.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This video was freaking nightmare fuel. The lady with the teeth, oh my god, man. Man, I ain't trying to go to sleep with that on my mind, I promise you. That's real nightmare fuel, man. Sheesh.
Videos like this make me wonder how often people are buried alive. I think this would be anybody's worst nightmare and something really horrifying to experience. This video is from Russia. It was released on January 24th of 2022. A man was pronounced dead and he was taken to the morgue. Not long after arriving at the morgue, he starts to wake up. I'm not sure what ended up happening to the guy after he woke up and climbed out of the bed, but it is said that there's a condition where people will start to succumb to injuries or certain illnesses, but their heart rate is so slowly beating that doctors can't detect it. I'm glad that he woke up and got out of bed before he was buried alive, or possibly embalmed while alive.
That's crazy.
Videos like this make me...
That's crazy. Wow. I don't even think, bro. That's crazy. I don't know what to say about that one. You look like a zombie. I'm gonna just be all the way straightforward with you. You look like a straight zombie. Y'all let me know what y'all think in that conversation.
Let's listen to what the CIA agent have to say about tips on being a spy. I think you're gonna want to listen.
What is the one spy trick you would teach everyone that they can use to improve their life instantly? Now, you already mentioned quite a few, but what else could jump to mind?
My go-to answer for this has not really changed much over the last few years. So the most important spy trick to change everything immediately is something called perception versus perspective. We all look at the world through our own perception. My dad used to tell me, my stepdad used to tell me that perception is reality. And I was arguing this with him when I was 14 years old. I told you so, Dad, you're still wrong.
Yeah.
But perception is your interpretation of the world around you, but it's unique only to you. There's no advantage in your perception. That's why so many people find themselves arguing all the time, trying to convince other people of their own perception. The way that you win any argument, the way that you get ahead in your career, the way that you outsell or out outrace anybody is when you move off of perception and move into perspective. Perspective is the act or the art of observing the world from outside of yourself. Whether that's outside of yourself as like an entity just observing in a third from a different point of view, or even more powerful, you sit in the shoes, you sit in the seat of the person opposite you, and you think to yourself, what is their life like? What do they feel right now? Are they comfortable? Are they uncomfortable? Are they afraid? Are they scared? What's the stressor that they woke up to this morning? What's the stressor that they're going to go to sleep with tonight? When you shift places and get out of your own perception and into someone else's perspective, now you're thinking like them, which is giving you an informational advantage. But you know what they're all doing? Everyone else out there is trapped in their own perception, not thinking about a different perspective. So immediately you have superior information, superior positioning, you have an advantage that they don't have. And if you do that to your boss, it's gonna change your career. If you do that to your spouse, it's gonna change your marriage. If you do that to your kids, it's gonna change your family legacy. Because nobody else out there is doing it.
To all my 007Hs out there, leave a message in the comments, like or follow for more wisdom, and stay tuned. Let's listen to what the...
Yeah, that's wild right there, man. That's also true on so many levels. Yeah. Everybody has their own perspective. Well, they should have their own perspective. That's wild. That's deep to think about. That gave me something to think about, man. I was gonna sit here and ponder. But yeah, man, that's all the videos we got for today, man. If y'all like this content, y'all tapped into this content, y'all go ahead and press that subscribe button. You know, and tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Y'all press that like button so the algorithm can push these videos so we can wake more people up. Yeah. I like it though. Very deep. Very deep. Very deep. It's crazy. Our last video was deep. We're gonna have to watch that again. But yeah, let's go, man. You know, welcome to my channel. Let's get it.